Wasn't it? More action to bring on this ringside live, including Olympic bronze medalist Tony Jeffries. Has been based in LA with a new trainer, Tommy Brooks, by his side. Made the switch after drawing his last fight. Tonight taking on Tommy Tolan, the hard man from here in Belfast. Has the power in both hands. Came back in May after 5 years away from the sport.
Second time, round one.
A new trainer, a new day for Tony Jeffries. An unimpressive performance last time out. Only a draw against Michael Bambula since then. He's been over to Los Angeles for 7 weeks working with the renowned American trainer Tommy Brooks. Let's see if he can effect an improvement. Certainly those connected with Tony Jeffries, who came into the pro ranks after picking up that bronze medal at the Beijing Olympics, certainly they'll be hoping so.
Yeah, well, there's certainly massive improvements required in his previous performance, but I think one of Jeffries' problems, he's a little bit too keen to please the fans. He sells tickets back home, and I think he wants to give everyone a good night, and sometimes it neglects, keeping his mind on the job. But we expect big improvements, and I like the way he's using the jab straight from the off here. He's using it as a weapon, not just as a rangefinder, solid in his feet and ramming the jab home.
Tommy Tolan, a 37-year-old roughhouse sort of fighter from Belfast. He's being told off by referee Howard Foster at cleaning his work up. He's got a bit of a reputation of being a tough man, and certainly one who can punch. But really a boxer with the long amateur record and with the aspirations to make it to elevated ranks such as Jeffries should be able to come through.
He's holding Jeffries' left hand there and punching with the other one there, and the referee is pulling up about. I think Jeffries punching just after the call to break there. But Tolan can punch, so he just wants to let go with some big shots. But he's making this a little bit untidy. But Jeffries is the one who should have the skills to tidy things up.
Foster under a little bit of pressure to try and keep this one under control. Tony Jeffries against Michael Bambula in his last fight really lost his way in the last couple of rounds. Bambula almost sneaked the victory.
Well, it's no good complaining. I mean, it's up to Jeffries to use the jab to keep this fella at arm's length. If he times the jab properly, Tolan won't get close, but he's getting close. And Jeffries is pulling faces as though he wants the referee to do something about it. He has to really want to do something about it, get the jab out and find a bit of accuracy with it. But nothing smooth about this opening round. He's trying to wind up right hands now, Jeffries, when really he should just be settling down and concentrating on timing his jab. Now that was a nice little feint and step back. That's what we want to see. Try things out. This fellow is rough and he's tough and he's awkward. You want to use some skills.
Jeffries catching him with a nice sneak little left hand. Tommy Brooks, his trainer, worked with the likes of Sweet Pea, terrific southpaw Pernell Whitaker, worked with Evander Holyfield as well. Is he going to be able to work something with Tony Jeffries? First round over.
Referee Foster trying to tidy things up now.
Well, Howard Foster telling Tommy Tolan, the Belfast man, to watch out for use of the head. Significantly the shorter of the two fighters. And straight away the head going in from Tolan. So all getting a bit untidy.
Jeffries is going to have to deal with this kind of opponent. I mean, he's hot-headed himself. He wants to blast him out. He's winding up big right hands of his own. Really, he's going to have to find a little bit of smoothness in his boxing. He wants to dominate when maybe he should be outsmarting Tolan and using his boxing skills a little bit more. And he's cut over the left eye.
There was a grimace. I think it was done by a clash of heads. try and see if we can see exactly how that one came, but I'm fairly sure it was via the clash of heads, and that doesn't look good, Jim, and that doesn't come a moment too soon, because that's a nasty cut over the left eye of Tony Jeffries, but he got his man out of there, left hand, right hand, and down went Tolan, and the finish when it came was excellent.
Yep. Well, when he had to produce the goods, he produced them in fine style. Tolan wants to get up here, so I'm pretty sure he's okay. So they'll just keep him on the floor as a precaution. But I still felt Jeffries made that hard work in the time it lasted. He's got himself a nasty cut because he allowed Tolan to get too close. Okay, we can't expect him to totally change overnight now that Tommy Brooks is on board. But I'm sure Tommy Brooks would have liked a little bit of smoothness in his boxing, not being so much of a hurry to get involved with an opponent who's at a lesser level than you. But he's got the result, but that means he's out now.
That's a nasty cut.
Yeah, but it's a bad cut, so we can expect him to be out for a couple of months, which is a pity because you would think he would want a little bit of continuity to his career. That is a really nasty cut.
That's going to need stitches. 7 weeks in Los Angeles he's had with Tommy Brooks. He'd have wanted to go straight on and to build on that and try and maintain a momentum and an improvement. And that's going to mean that everything's going to be put on pause. Tommy Tolan being given a little bit of oxygen in the ring, but he's okay, no harm done. He's being allowed to get back to his feet now, sit on the stool, and Tony Jeffries will be confirmed as a second round winner.
Yeah, well, the problem, Jeffries won't even be able to spar with that injury, so that's really put his career back on hold, which really is a big pity. I mean, the heads were coming together all the way through, usually Tolan's fault, but Jeffries was a little bit too keen to start dominating when he should have been keeping it at a distance. He allowed Tolan too close too often, and bang, you can see, and you can see the reaction in Jeffries' face there. He's up feeling for the blood. He knows that was a bad clash and expected damage to be done, and it was, and it's a really nasty cut, but good on him. I mean, he had to produce the goods and he came out, did it in fine style. Lovely right hand, but the problem is he's been looking for that right hand earlier on, and that's what caused the cut. That's what allowed the clash of heads to take place. But lovely shot, bang on the chin, and it's all over.
Well, Tony, did you get the knockout just when you needed it?
Well, so they say it's a bad cut, I can't see it, but you know, it was a dodgy first round, and then he was coming in with the head a lot, and then in the second round, I listened to Tommy after the first round and done exactly what he says. Just keep it relaxed, keep it long and straight, and that's what happened.
Are you happy with the way you cope with the mental pressure of being roughed up a little bit and a bit frustrated?
Yeah, it was different, you know, it was good. Even though it was only a round and a half, I suppose I learned a little bit from that, you know. He was a rough opponent coming in with his head a lot. So it's just good to put that last fight in the past and move on.
The draw with Bambula, you feel you're improving. How in particular are you improving in America under Tommy Brooks?
I'm improving loads. Tommy's a fantastic, I've worked with so many coaches for the amateurs and the professionals, and Tommy's by far the best, you know, and I'm learning a lot, and I think as time goes on, the longer I work with him, the more you'll see.
Tommy, were you impressed by that performance this evening?
Well, yes and no. First of all, he didn't follow instructions. He didn't follow instructions till it was really important, and he followed instructions and got the guy out of there. Saying that to say he could have did that in the first round and got the guy out of there. But, you know, he'll work in progress, and I don't expect him to get... He's been doing a certain thing for 15 years straight, and he's been with me for a month. It's going to take time, you know. The good part is that he did listen, and he saw the results.
Frank, a bad cut there. Will that keep him out for a while?
Well, he's not due back until March, but he needs time in the gym under Tommy. As Tommy said, you know, we can't judge him on this fight. We've sat down as a team, and we're going to make 3 fights, then we'll sit down and make a decision if we're ready to move him forward. And Tommy thinks it'll take 9 months to a year to take all the bad habits out that he's learnt over the last 15 years. So that's the game plan.